What up, YouTube? Back with another one. Now, this one came down my feed line. I was like, yeah, gotta talk about that. Yeah. And it's basically showing that the demon rats is bringing in all these immigrants so they can depend on the government and vote them in so they can stay on welfare, Section 8. But that's awfully funny because they tell us to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, quote unquote. But then turn around and say, look, we got to give these people, the illegals, money and housing forever, even if they come over here. Oh, excuse me. Even if they come over here, they don't have to put a good foot forward. And so we got to pay for everything that they got. Oh, and I forgot to do. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Help me raise up in the community so I can continue doing what I got to do. Okay. But without further ado, let's get it started. Cause these demon rats is very sickening. And shouts out to my man's Mr. L Boy Reacts. Check him out. Good content creator, man. I like him. But without further ado, let's get to it.
Basically, I kept myself from the normalized behaviors that plague the Black community. So becoming pregnant was embarrassing to me. I didn't want to be like the rest. I had always strived to be better. I didn't want to be like the social norm. I didn't want to be another statistic.
Or we hear someone say, it was a choice made up to me to have my children and not be like the other Black people who get to have children out of wedlock. We don't get to have those kind of conversations.
No, she lived through poverty, took government help here. Then she told Congress why exactly it shouldn't become a permanent thing here, guys. Ilhan Omar has a very different answer.
My grandmother, who raised me, also raised 9 kids of her own, was a homeowner living in a poor Black drug-infested community in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She raised me and my younger sister. My mom was a teenage mom on drugs in and out of prison. My grandmother was a strong woman, hardworking woman. She showed tough love and had amazing independent work ethics. So I basically grew up in a typical Black stigma community surrounding me. The lack of motivation for education, promiscuous behavior, drugs, crime, and some on welfare. In spite of the circumstance that surrounded my childhood, I was one that often fought against the odds. I had a love for education. I never did drugs and I never committed a crime. But however, I did fall into promiscuous behavior. And at the age of 17, I became a teenage mom. This was the turning point of my life. I will never forget the day that I found that I was pregnant. I went into a Planned Parenthood in my neighborhood. I was devastated, I was frightened, and I was scared because I was one of those kids that excelled in school, was popular in school, played sports, was on the homecoming court. You name it, I was in it. So basically, I kept myself from the normalized behaviors that plague the Black community. So becoming pregnant was embarrassing to me. I didn't want to be like the rest. I had always strived to be better. I didn't want to be like the social norm. I didn't want to be another statistic. I didn't want to be the 72% of moms raising a child single. So while waiting for the results of my pregnancy test, I was crying. I was thinking how I had ruined my life. The nurse came back in the room and she told me that I was 3 weeks pregnant. And she consoled me that I had another choice. I had a choice to abort my baby. In that very moment, my life flashed before my eyes because I had a big decision to make. Do I get rid of my baby and proceed as normal, as though nothing happened, and go back to my family and friends and continue to live out my life? Or do I live the rest of my life knowing I had killed my baby? Do I keep my baby and face the challenges that lie ahead of me and press past the shame, the regret, and the disappointments? I chose the latter. Okay. I chose to do what I will always hear my grandmother say: you make your bed hard, you lie in it.
You lie in it, yep.
Those words rang loud and clear in my heart and mind. Yes, we did this. No one else is responsible for the choice we made. I must take responsibility.